why am I even up here speaking? Why do I have any stake to be up here talking to you guys right now? I do have a little bit of skin in this game. I'll give you a little brief history on my background. I started doing stand-up comedy in the late 90s, right here in Chicago. I trained at the Second City Theater, a lot of you guys know that. I worked with people like Tina Fey was there, Rachel Dratch, Horatio Sands, a lot of people you see on TV today. I worked with. They tended to be more on stage, where I like to keep a low profile, cleaning and doing dishes in the back, seeing people and that kind of thing. Paychecks came from the same place. It still counts. How many people have been through an obstacle in their life, like a big obstacle, like a death, not your own, but like somebody that's like close to you, child with special needs, divorce, addiction, like loss of job, money. Put your hands up if you have. Yeah. So look around, like a lot of us. Right? So already we're kind of starting to get in the same boat. Now, specific to my situation, I like to see kind of where we all fit into this. How many parents in the room? How many parents? Okay. Okay. How many of you, if you aren't parents, how many of you ever had parents? Okay, good. Any parents out there who have a child with special needs? If you could keep your hand up, that would be great. If we can start to kind of minimize that mountain so that we can manage it to the point that we can go on with our lives to deal with it, because that's the biggest part of overcoming your obstacle. About 6 hours after that, our pediatrician walked into our life for the first time. We had chosen her randomly. Somebody had recommended her to us. We wrote her on a form. We never met her before. We'd only been in Medina 9 months to the day. Do the math. Yeah. Thank you. So she walks in. She looks at Henry and inspects him and everything, and then she hands it back to us. And nothing of basketball. I don't think it shows you how good I hold. Don't let me hold your child. There you go. I'm sure it was like that. And hands it back to us, and she says, you know, I'm about 70 to 80% sure your son has Down syndrome. And as our hearts descended into the pits of our stomach to deal with that sentence, she said this. She said, well, let me show you something. She went to her laptop and she opened up pictures and started showing us pictures of her daughter who has Down syndrome. And they were gorgeous pictures, and she's cheering in one, and she's on a soccer team in another. And I knew 100% that my son had Down syndrome at that moment, because there's no way that the only pediatrician in northeastern Ohio with a child with Down syndrome just misdiagnosed this. And I also saw it as a sign, a good sign, that wow, this is going to be our pediatrician, and my God, the things she's going to know, this is going to be great. But immediately, without knowing it, I started to minimize my mountain. I had just received the obstacle. I had just heard the worst news I'd ever heard in my life. And just seconds later, without realizing it, my mountain started to become minimized because I saw the pictures. I saw positivity. And it was the first time I was alone with myself. And so some of you raised your hand and said that you've been through a big obstacle in your life. You might have had this moment where I'm not an incredibly religious person, but I had a talk with God. And maybe like some of you, or like a lot of people who go through this, it was the conversation of why me? And I was angry, and I was upset, and I was in denial. And I was like, why me? Why us? What do we do to deserve this? And as I'm talking, or saying this, I just keep picturing that little face, and how perfect it was. And I kept thinking that I'm sitting here angry, and this little guy is up there waiting for his dad. And he's done nothing wrong, by the way. And I'm angry. And as I kept kind of talking this out, I just kept envisioning that face. And just him being up there waiting for his mom and dad. And just like that walk from Rock Bottom Brewery, anger, denial, to acceptance. As I pulled into the grocery, I accepted what was happening, and my world opened up. Because when I accepted it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great. Elation came over me. This is going to be awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got to go. I got to get back to the hospital. I got to do this. So I run into the grocery. Now, groceries I don't like. I don't like groceries because grocery stores are filled with acquaintances, right? Acquaintances, and we hate acquaintances. Oh gosh, you've got to have a conversation with them, and they're the worst kind. Hey, how you doing? Good, good. How's the family? Not bad. Dude, your job good? Steady as she goes. It's the worst, right? And I always have that conversation with people in the first aisle. And then, all right, talk to you later. And you get around to the second aisle, and they come around the other way. You're like, oh. And you say something stupid, like, hey, fancy meeting you here. Go around to the third aisle, and they go around the third aisle, and I'm sweating bullets now. And if you're like me, you can imagine, like me, I got to say something. And you just say something stupid, like, yeah. Somebody likes their beans, huh? Yeah. Well, they say the more you eat, the more you chew. All right, so, oh, Jesus. I get to the fourth aisle, and I'm just done. I'm done with the world. I just blurt out something like, somebody's got a stalker. I'm not going to kill you. What? Oh, God. Oh, help me. I don't even go to the fifth aisle. I just abandon the cart and run. I'm not staying around. But not today. Not today. I run into that grocery store. I see an acquaintance right away, somebody I just barely even knew. They're like, oh, Rob, hey, Ellen's pregnant, right? Did you guys have a baby? I go, oh my God, we just had our baby today, Henry. He's a little boy, healthy as a horse. He's got Down syndrome. Talk to you later. And I did. Every person I saw, I saw 4 people, and that was the conversation. Told everybody he had Down syndrome. Told everybody he was healthy as a horse. Greatest thing that ever happened. I was so excited.